the European Union, it's just the dream.
Ready, set, go.
Its role in the rest of the world will be bigger and larger.
Yeah, most.
The European Union is a very interesting institution in the fact that it is the only institution currently in the world that gives so much power to a union that is not the nation state. And I would like to see their role greatly enhanced.
In the future, we'll have more cooperation with other continents and mostly also with Africa, because now China is turning to Africa.
There are lots of countries that want to be part of the European Union, and I think it's going to grow quite a lot.
But for this, we need to improve more in innovation, to keep the leader place.
And also being a leader by example as well. When Europe develops sort of tools and resources and be able to share that with the rest of the world and support the rest of the world where and when they need to.
We are so much diverse and anyway united.
We are living decades of peace, and that's a thing that rarely happens in the world.
The youth can travel, the people who are in need can come here in order to find a peace and a safe place to live in.
I like about the European Union that there is no internal borders.
That people, especially young people, can move across borders inside the European Union, live their dreams.
See friends and do Erasmus Plus and things like that as well, which for me is one of the best things about the EU. Go and live in a year abroad in a completely different culture is a mind-blowingly amazing experience for any young person.
I studied in different European countries and I work in a different European country that I live in, so I commute. So I think this is something that I actually experience in my daily life.
There is something very cool about just being able to drive across the border and be like, oh, I'm in a different country now. And I am as much a part of that country and of that union as I am of the country where I just drove in from.
So if I would change something in Europe, would be the fact that I would deny the production of weapons, okay? And we would declare ourselves being neutral and don't caring about no wars. We don't want to know nothing about wars. Going to help if asked, only if asked, but otherwise we are in peace.
I think it would just be nice, and I think the role of the European Union in the world could be enhanced if also the member states just were to realize that we're stronger together, we're better together, we can solve problems better together.
When I'm looking at the news today, the topics which are concerning me the most are populism.
Hungary and Poland worry me. Hungary with its grip on the media. I don't think the EU or just bilaterally other European countries are doing enough to be hey, that's not okay. Please don't fire your independent judges. Please don't, fire all of your independent journalists. Not cool. Please don't.
Police violence or right-wing violence against people who don't look German. And it's something that was in the news, but not enough, I think. And for me, it was the most important thing the past year, and the discussion is still going on.
Especially in Greece, where I come from, many media are in favor of parties that are in right or left. So radicalization is really concerns me a lot.
I think the EU is failing horrifically on the refugee crisis. I think they should do more. I think they could do better, and I think they should do better. This is not the biggest refugee crisis we've ever faced. This is not the biggest refugee wave we've ever faced. We've done more. We've integrated more people successfully, and I think we couldn't do it again. And I think this is mainly a political crisis than a people crisis, because I've seen many volunteers go out and do stuff and be super willing to help and just do these amazing inspiring things of being you're here now and we will take care of you because you deserve to be taken care of as a fellow human being. So I think that's what currently worries me most.
In Romania, the minimum age for voting is 18 years old, and I think this is right.
It is 18 and it should be 16 at the very least. I think 14 years old should get a consultory vote, to be honest. It's always going to be an arbitrary limit. So there's always going to be just a number we choose.
I don't see any kind of age limit, because I think nowadays we are not talking about ages, but we are talking about people that are ready to vote. It's just about individuals. I couldn't compare a youngster from 16 or another person that is 40, because it might be possible that the youngster from 16 might be more aware on what is gonna vote than another person that is 40.
Because people emancipate at different ages, you may be able to vote based on a test, cultural knowledge, general knowledge, political knowledge, social knowledge, and things like that. No? So when you reach a certain level of consciousness, you may be able to vote also for yourself, but you also vote for others.
18 is the minimum age, but if you drop it, for example, for 16, I think you have more people staying at home. No one's going to go and vote on a Sunday.
But I do think that 16-year-olds absolutely have the critical thinking abilities to make considered choices. With the problems we're facing now regarding climate change, like they're the ones who will have to live with it. And I think they absolutely, in those questions, deserve to be heard.
There's an Indian that said that the planet is not ours, but it's our children's planet. So I think it's the basic of the basic to try to respect the earth, because from the earth we gain everything. So if we're not able to respect the earth, we're not able to respect ourselves, and we are going to have no future. So it's mandatory for us to make some policies that make all the countries respect our planet.
I think the EU, to a certain extent, is more progressive than the national governments of the member states. They talk more and have more policies on environmental protection. There still needs to be more voice given to the young people. So, for example, the Fridays for Future demonstrations are really, really important. And I think because national governments are not responding enough, or responding in a wrong way, they're trying to shut down those demonstrations. I think the EU should jump in and maybe try to seek dialogue with these young people.
Yeah, you have the kids joining in on Friday, let's strike, and they don't take it seriously. It's about our lives in the present, but also in the future. They are afraid of us, that's why they don't want to connect with us, that's why we don't engage, because we don't see ourselves with them.
And we should think about why only 27% of the young voted. For me, the problem that we have a young student, a young guy, is the fact that probably we take for granted many things that we have the European citizen.
A lot of people that are not willing to vote in the upcoming elections are not going to do it due to the fact that they think they are in a very distant position from those who are governing European Union.
And if we lack of this information, we're not able to understand why we should vote, which is our power, and how we can use it towards the common goal and towards our vision, our objectives.
So we need to work more on education of all people, from young people until also people that from the old generations.
From here, Brussels, they're deciding these kind of things. They should inform people about it, educate people. It's really important, because I saw people panicking with no reason.
I strongly believe that Brexit is a result of the disability of many people to assess the results of their actions.
Okay, Brexit is terrible. Personally, it's not a great thing. I hate the idea of not being part of the European Union and not being able to offer the future generation of young people the opportunities that I've had.
Brexit plays a big role in the European Union, because if they leave, it could have a big impact on the situation in Europe.
We're going to be in this really strange relationship with the UK. It's like a bad relationship, not healthy.
However, one thing that maybe it could do, it's hopefully that catalyst that will be like, oh my God, someone's left, no one's meant to leave, and then suddenly we need to do something about it to kind of shake the EU into a bit more of a people relational ideology. I feel like the European Union in general has lost a lot of contact and communication and gone out of sync a bit with the rest of the world, and what it might do is kick the European Union, the Commission, the politicians up the backside a bit to be better at communicating with its citizens.
Give it in their hand instead of waiting what the government does. Get them realize that they can achieve things by themselves, and I think that's very important.
So probably I would change more acting at local level, so more something departing from the local part than going for the European level, in order to develop this sense of citizenship.
Very crucial for those who are in very crucial positions to come in contact with the young people. They should come and talk to them in high schools and reach them in the places that they are hanging out, in order to bring those peoples in their reality.
Yeah, but I'm hopeful about Europe.
The idea of European Union as we started. Still, this idea it's good and it should be raised.
So make people aware how important it is. It starts by yourself and get the true potential out of the people.
And then vote.
Go and vote.
Vote on the upcoming elections.
Do you know that we have a piece of your wall, the Berlin Wall, in Portugal? We do have it in Fatima, actually. We have a piece of your walls. But you guys, you shouldn't like walls.